Thanks, Jennifer. At 7 o'clock this morning, 4 Toronto police officers were arrested and charged. A news release is being posted just now, and we have the paper copies for you, which include the names of the officers that are charged and the charges that they are charged with. The 4 officers have been charged with a total of 17 offenses. 9 of them are obstruct justice, and 8 are for perjury. These charges arise from the arrest of Nguyen Sun Tran on January 15, 2014. The investigation has been conducted by my Professional Standards Unit, working in conjunction with the Crown Attorney's Office, and I want to thank them for the hard work that they have done. Anything that questions the integrity of any member of the Toronto Police Service concerns me. I cannot discuss the case of these 4 officers right now, but what I can say is that we will leave no stone unturned when we discover or when we're informed of any information that raises a possibility that any of our members have not lived up to the high standards and expectations. In wake of these charges, I've put together a team of professional standards investigators to scrutinize other cases in which these 4 officers have been involved. The team's job will be to see if there are any other cause of concern. I'll take questions. Sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry.
The lawyer of the defendants in this case has told us that, or alleges that this kind of behavior is not an isolated case among police officers, that it is more widespread, planting of evidence. What would you say to that allegation?
I'd say every lawyer is entitled to an opinion, even if they're not accurate.
Chief, a lawyer has asked for the police to apologize with regard to that charge being withdrawn on the athlete, the sexual assault charge. What's your response to that?
You know, Mr. Greenspan is very iconic in the Canadian judicial system, and I have tremendous respect for him. But I can say that Mr. Greenspan was ill-informed. The conferences that I saw in which he spoke, he stated that the police were told by the Crown attorneys not to lay any charges, and we went ahead and did it. That is incorrect. We laid the charges on August the 26th as a result of information from evidence that was given to us. It was October the 20th, that's 56 days later, when the Crown said that there would be no expectation of conviction. So that's a 56-day difference. And I can tell you, in between those 56 days, there was an opportunity where the Crown attorneys, with the investigators, spoke with the victim. And this is a tragic thing for the victim, by the way, but spoke with the victim, and the victim wanted to continue with the investigations, and I believe she still does.
With these officers involved, how many of them are working with major crimes at 55 divisions? 3?
You know what, I don't know the minutiae of that, so I can't answer that.
Can you give us a sense of how many cases they may have been involved in and how many cases you're now reviewing?
I don't know, and that's why I've asked for this team to have a look at, you know, what have they been involved in over the course of their years, and is there any potential to find any other misconduct that needs to be looked at.
Are these veteran officers?
They span from 17 years. Some have 17 years. I don't have all of the times, but yes, some of the officers are quite seasoned.
Was the original internal investigation closed at any point, or has this now ended with these charges?
No, the moment, any time that we have any information concerning any allegations of misconduct of any kind, we investigate from start to finish, and then we look at what the conclusions are, and then based on the conclusions, it determines what the outcomes are. And in this particular case, it concluded with the fact that we believe that there was some criminal activity, and now it has to go before the judicial process.
Chief, are the officers suspended?
No.
Are the officers suspended from duty?
Yes, they were, but and you know, under the Police Services Act, they're suspended with pay. I don't have an option under the Police Services Act. It has to be that way, and until the sentencing, that's when we can look at other options. But right now, I can't do anything else.
Chief, these are serious charges against 4 officers. What would you say to the public this morning who are really concerned about this?
I would say that the vast majority, and I will say the vast majority of the men and women that work with the Toronto Police Service do an integral job with what they do in a day-to-day process. I will also say that I have the confidence that our officers that conduct investigations on other officers do so in a professional manner, and they do so to make sure that we enhance that transparency, to make sure that the public can rest assured that we will not tolerate any bad behavior of any kind.
Can you talk about what kind of week it's been for Toronto Police? We've had the guilty verdict of attempted murder earlier this week, and we've had charges against another officer not related to this incident as well. Can you tell us just how it's been dealing with this week?
You know, it certainly has been an anomaly week when it comes to our service, but I'm still very proud of the work that the vast majority of the men and women do, civilian and sworn, and we will get through this, and we will do our best to get the public trust back that we have lost in certain areas.
Chief, what's your approach going to be with discipline with the officers? You've inherited a lot of problems that came out of 51 Division. There is multiple officers that were charged in 51 Division for sexual assault. Here you have multiple officers being charged here. Are you going to take each piece to your desk to look at yourself and have a hands-on approach to it, or use the professional services?
Well, we've got a system that's in place that works, that is a good system that's in place. And so I'm not going to see any changes on my part with respect to that. And as I've stated, the vast majority of the men and women that come to work do a fantastic job, are professional, understand the core values, live to the core values. So do we have some people that do not? Yes, they do. Do we have mechanisms in place to identify and to deal with? Yes, we do. Do they work? Absolutely. Today's a classic example of just that.
I know you said you don't know the minutia of the case, but there's one officer here on the release, Constable Michael Taylor. We were hearing that he was recently demoted. Does this have anything to do with this incident?
I don't know.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
That concludes today's conference.